Let's be real. The first person to reveal their feelings almost always loses the upper hand. It's a rule no one teaches you, but chances are you've felt it yourself. That moment when you opened up too soon, and suddenly the other person pulled back, acted distant, or changed the game completely. That wasn't an accident. That was a shift in power. We're told that honesty is strength, that being upfront and vulnerable shows courage. But here's the hard truth. The second you lay your feelings on the table, you give the other person the power to decide what happens next. And once that happens, you're no longer leading. You're following. Think about it. The people who seem untouchable, the ones who stay calm, hold back, and keep you guessing, they always seem to have the upper hand. That's not luck, that's strategy. Whether it's love, business, or any high-stakes interaction, the real power belongs to those who can hold their emotions close. In this video, I'll break down 5 ruthless reasons why you should never reveal your feelings first, and how keeping quiet puts you in control. By the end, you'll stop seeing silence as a weakness and start using it as your strongest weapon. Let's dive in. 1. Exposure equals weakness. Let's be clear about one thing. When you reveal your feelings too early, you make yourself vulnerable, whether you realize it or not. It might feel like you're just being honest, but in reality, you're laying out your true desires, your fears, and your intentions for the other person to see. And once they have that information, they hold the advantage, whether they mean to or not. This is human nature. People are hardwired to respond differently when they know they've already won your attention, affection, or approval. Suddenly, they don't have to put in as much effort. They don't have to wonder where they stand. And because of that, the balance of power shifts fast. Think about times in your own life when you told someone too soon how much you cared. Did they start pulling away? When you showed too much eagerness in a business deal, did the other side begin stalling or asking for more? When you exposed your full hand in any negotiation, did you feel like you lost leverage? That's because once your feelings are out there, you become predictable. And in any game, whether personal or professional, predictability is weakness. Here's why. When people know exactly what you want, they can manipulate your desires. Stall until you get frustrated. Use your eagerness to gain better terms for themselves. Even if they're not doing it on purpose, the psychology is the same. What's too available loses value. That's why one of the strongest moves you can make is to hold your cards close. It doesn't mean you never show your feelings. It means you time it strategically. Hold back until 2 key things are in place. Genuine trust has been built. There's balance in the dynamic, where both sides have shown equal investment. Until then, stay composed, stay a little distant. Let your silence do the work, because every time you resist the urge to spill your emotions too soon, you're reinforcing your own strength. Remember this. Exposure isn't connection, it's a risk. And in any power dynamic, control belongs to those who stay guarded until the moment is right. That's how you keep the upper hand, every time. 2. Mystery builds value. Here's something powerful you need to understand. Humans are naturally drawn to what they can't fully figure out. We are wired for curiosity. The less we know, the more we want to know. And this plays out in every area of life, whether in dating, business, or social dynamics. The truth is simple. Mystery creates value. When you hold back your feelings, you don't just keep yourself protected. You create intrigue. You generate a kind of tension that pulls people in because they can't quite read you. They start to question, where do I stand with this person? What are they really thinking? Why aren't they showing their hand yet? And that's when you flip the dynamic. Instead of you chasing clarity, now they are the ones chasing you. Think about this. Who gets more attention in a room? The person talking non-stop, or the one who says very little but seems fully in control? It's always the quiet one, the person who holds a bit of mystery. Why? Because mystery equals value. The unknown keeps people hooked, guessing, and engaged. And most importantly, it keeps you in the position of strength. This is why revealing too much, too soon, kills attraction and leverage. The moment everything about you is clear, people stop working for your attention. They feel like they've figured you out. And once that happens, the energy shifts, the effort drops, the power tilts in their favor. So what's the strategy? Say less. Hint less. Let them wonder. When you feel the urge to clarify your feelings, ask yourself, does this person really need to know this right now? Or is the mystery actually working for me? Most of the time, the mystery is doing more for you than any words ever could. Remember, what people can't fully understand, they value more. Keep your cards close and let curiosity do the chasing for you. That's how you build value without saying a word. 3. Control the pace. Here's a rule most people overlook. The person who reveals their feelings first almost always loses the ability to control the pace. Whether it's a relationship, a business deal, or any form of negotiation. The one who lays their cards on the table first hands over the steering wheel. Think about it like this. When you open up too soon, you set a fast pace, one that feels urgent and eager. And as soon as the other person sees that, they instinctively slow things down. Why? Because now they know they have the control. Suddenly, you're waiting, you're wondering, you're hoping they'll catch up or respond the way you want. This is a classic dynamic shift. The one who reveals first becomes reactive. The one who holds back remains in the driver's seat. Here's where holding back becomes a power move. When you don't rush to show your feelings, you create space. And in that space, the other side starts to wonder, where do I stand? Why aren't they showing more? Do they feel the same way? That uncertainty puts the ball in their court. Now they have to step up, lean in, and work to clarify the situation. In other words, you force them to react to you, and this is where true control lies. Not in pushing, but in pulling back just enough to guide the pace on your terms. So what's the strategy? Let them open up first. Mirror their moves. If they show interest, reflect that back, but never overextend. Stay one step behind until you're sure of your footing. This keeps you from getting swept up in someone else's timeline or energy. Remember, the person who controls the pace controls the entire dynamic. By holding back, you stay grounded. You keep your power intact, and you set the tone without ever needing to force it. Slow is smooth. Smooth is powerful. Let them come to you. 4. Prevents emotional leverage. Here's something most people never think about. The moment your feelings are out in the open, they can be used as leverage. And no, it's not always intentional. Sometimes it's subtle, subconscious, or even unspoken. But once someone knows exactly what matters to you, what you fear losing, what you deeply want, you've handed them a powerful tool. In high-stakes situations, whether it's a relationship, a negotiation, or any power play, leverage is everything. The person who has less to lose, or at least appears that way, always holds the advantage. But if you've openly shown your cards, if they know how invested you are emotionally, they can slow things down, test your patience, or push your limits, because they know you're too hooked to walk away easily. Sound familiar? Maybe you've been in a relationship where the more you showed you cared, the more distant the other person became. Or in business, where once your eagerness was obvious, the other side started dragging things out to gain better terms. That's leverage at work, whether conscious or not. And once you give it away, it's incredibly hard to get back. So what's the strategy? Train yourself to sit with your emotions, quietly. Feel everything, but keep it inside. You don't have to suppress your emotions. You just have to master the art of not making them public property. When you keep your emotions internal, no one can use them against you. No one can manipulate your reactions. No one knows exactly where your pressure points are. This creates a sense of quiet strength. People feel your presence, but they can't grip you. They don't know where your soft spots are, and that keeps you in control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The closer a man is to his own mind, the harder it is to control him." That's exactly what this is about, mastering your emotional world, so no one else can ever use it against you. When you build that kind of inner fortress, you don't just prevent emotional leverage, you become unshakable. 5. True strength is restraint. Let's face it, we live in a world that rewards oversharing. We're constantly pushed to express, to explain, to let it all out. Social media tells us that vulnerability equals strength. And while being open can have its place, there's a deeper, more dangerous kind of strength. Restraint. The strongest people you'll ever meet. They feel deeply, sometimes even more than anyone else in the room, but they reveal nothing until the moment is right. They don't rush to express. They don't overshare out of impulse or anxiety. They stay silent, controlled, and strategic. Why does this matter? Because real power isn't about being loud. It's about being in full command of your own emotional world. The person who can sit with intense feelings and not feel forced to unload them is the one who holds true inner discipline. And that's exactly what restraint is, a tool for building discipline and quiet dominance. When you practice restraint, you sharpen your focus. You protect your energy, and you command a deeper kind of respect, one that's felt, even when nothing is said. People naturally respect what they can't easily access. If you're the type of person who reacts quickly, speaks too soon, or expresses every emotion as it comes, you become easy to read, easy to manipulate, and easy to dismiss. But when you hold back, when you resist the urge to fill the silence, you create an aura of strength that speaks louder than words ever could. This doesn't mean you never open up. It means you do so with purpose, not pressure. You choose your moment when it serves you, not when you're pushed by impulse. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, self-control is strength, right thought is mastery. So here's the mindset shift. Stop thinking of restraint as holding back. Start seeing it as holding power. Because in a world full of noise, the one who masters silence is the one who truly leads. Master emotional control. Final takeaways. Let's bring it all together. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this. Power is built on control, especially control over your emotions. We've broken down the exact steps that keep you in the driver's seat. 1. Exposing your feelings weakens your position. The more you reveal, the more others can use it against you. 2. Mystery raises your value. What people can't fully understand, they chase and respect. 3. Holding back lets you set the pace. The one who reveals less controls the speed of any dynamic. 4. Silence protects you from emotional leverage. When no one knows your true feelings, no one can manipulate you. 5. Restraint is your strongest play. True strength is staying calm, quiet, and in command, no matter how intense your feelings are. Every one of these strategies ties back to one core principle. The less you give away, the more power you hold. Never forget, power doesn't belong to the loudest. It belongs to those who master their emotions and their silence. If you've ever felt like you were too quick to open up, if you've ever wished you had more control over a situation, now you know the game. And better yet, you know how to win it. If you want to take your mastery of emotional control even deeper and learn how to become truly untouchable, watch the next video right here. This is exactly how Stoics keep the upper hand, always.